Hey guys, it's Lisa and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make some little garden markers and flower pot decor. And we're going to start on the first project with these wooden spoons. And I was showing you where I got those from Ross. If you have one, that's the cheapest place I've found for them. And $3.99, and I think there's like 6 in a pack. And it doesn't have to be all spoons. As you can see here, I'm using any kind of wooden utensil. Dollar General also carries these, and they're like $1 each. But what I'm doing is that I've just painted around the largest part of these because I'm going to be decoupaging, and this is just one layer of a napkin. So I've just picked different napkins that I think will go with the garden theme, and just decoupage that one outer layer of the napkin. Most napkins have about 3, some have only 2, but you do need to separate those, because what happens when you try to decoupage without separating them is once you put them on, only that bottom layer will stick well, and then it will start to separate on its own, and it's just not a good look at all. And these don't all have to be spoons, just any kind of wooden utensil. Now you could use these as a garden marker, and you could put the name of whatever plant that you're wanting to use. You could even do that over this decoupage. But with these, all I'm doing is just making some little pot decor. So you just stick them in the top of a potted plant. That's kind of my idea, and I guess you could do that in the garden as well. But this is a good project to just use some of your very small pieces that you have left of your decoupage. You're seeing my sister's hands here also, because she's been doing some of them too. But when you're using a napkin and it doesn't all fit on your project, just save the little pieces that are left over if it's something that you can use at all, because some of these utensils are very small, and you need those little pieces. So what I'm going to do when I get all these finished is I'm going to take some sandpaper and sand around all the edges just to clean up the edge and give it a better look. And then I'm going to take my antiquing ink, and that's a Tim Holtz antique oxide ink. And I just use my ink blending tool and just put that around the edge as well. And that just kind of gives it a lot better look. And then these spoons that are not darker, that are really new looking, then I just go over them with some brown wax where I don't have my decoupage, and that just kind of gives them that older look. And then once I get all of these finished, then I go over them with a couple of coats of a good strong outdoor sealer. That way, obviously these won't last forever, sticking them down in a pot that you're going to be watering, but you'll at least get a year or 2 out of them, and I think that they're worth the trouble. So I'm going to have less than $1 in these, as it turns out. And what I'm selling them for is $3 each. And I'm not going to be able to show these, or all of them, most of them actually, in the end, because several of these sold before I could get them out. So I just went to Ross and picked up a bunch more, and I guess this week that's what I'll be doing, is making several more of these. Now this particular napkin here has honeybees on it, and I just really like it. I just ordered it from Amazon, got it back, and didn't realize how many was in a pack. There are several in a pack with these, so I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I think I got a good price. And I'll try to link this one in the description, since it is one that I've just recently bought. So you can just decoupage anything garden related on here. little animals or flowers or birds, just about anything. And you don't have to use napkins. I feel like the napkins are easier with this particular project because it has to mold to the shape of the spoon, and so that's all that I used on here. But you could definitely use decoupage paper. You could use tissue paper or rice paper on these. But I also think that the most economical thing to use on them is napkins. So there are some of them after I finish them. Again, I couldn't feature all of them. But then the next item that I'm going to be making little plant markers with, and again, these could have the names on them, or these could just be for decor. I'm going to do one little set that has the name on them, and the rest of them I'm just going to do use as decor. So again, with these, I'm going to paint just the handle of these. So I just put one coat on the handle. It's all going to get decoupaged over, so you don't have to worry about complete coverage here. You just want to just make sure that you cover just the handle, because the other part's going to go in the dirt anyway, so it wouldn't last, and there's really no need to paint it. But I always like to start with white of some kind. I think this is just fluff white, but I like to start with some kind of white because decoupaging just works a lot better over white. And then once I get these all painted and let them dry well, then I'm going to do the same thing and just decoupage over the top, because these are all going to get sealed also, so that they can be used in your outdoor pots if you need to. And after I decoupage these are also going to get that antiquing ink just kind of around the edges. And that's all just complete preference. If you do that, it definitely needs to be sealed, because water will just take that right off. But these need to be sealed because they're chalk paint anyway. And I'm just using different of my napkins again to cover both the front and back of these knives. And most of these are old knives, but you don't have to use old ones because you're covering it up anyway. You could just use some cheap flatware that you don't want anymore. So for most of these, again, I just cover them with the napkin. And then some of these, I'm just going to do a small set with rosemary, actually parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, like the song says. So I made a set of those, and with those, all that I did was just hand wrote the names of them on just a little piece of my tissue, one layer of the tissue actually that didn't have any print on it. And I decoupaged that on first, and then I just kind of tore some pieces and decoupaged around that from a napkin, if that makes sense. And I didn't worry with getting these perfectly even, as long as it's somewhere on there where you can see it. And then again, I will decoupage around that with a pretty napkin print. I hope you guys had a great Easter yesterday. We did. We didn't do much other than church, but we did have a very good Easter. And I thought what was really appropriate, I love that it happened that way this year, is that here in Tennessee, we had really gloomy, ugly, rainy weather on Friday, which was very appropriate for Good Friday. And then Sunday, yesterday, we had a gorgeous day. It was so pretty. The sun was just beautiful. But I didn't mind that ugly weather on Friday at all, because it just was so perfect for Good Friday. I know it's a good day. Good Friday is a wonderful day because of His sacrifice. We don't have to pay for our past sins, but to me, it's just always felt really sad. So again, I'm just going to kind of decoupage around the word, and then I'll do these the same way. I'll do some antiquing around the edges, and I'll sand around the edges first, and then do some antiquing, and then seal these. And again, I'll probably put $3 each on these, and I think they make sweet little markers or just decor for your pots. And the next item is going to be some garden markers. Now, I'm always able to get these because of my husband's landscape supply yard there at the shop. So I'm just using some river rock and painting just the tops. I don't see the need to paint the bottoms or the sides at all. I just want to paint the tops so that what I do on the top will show up better. And these are going to get antiqued around the edges afterwards, and they're also going to get sealed. And it's pretty easy to paint these without taping anything off. You just kind of carefully go around the edges. It doesn't have to be a perfect edge, but it's pretty easy to get it really smooth. You do want to make sure and use pretty smooth rocks with this, I think. Now, I just happen to have some stamps, and I say I do, but they're actually my sister's, with just a few of the vegetables, and so I'm just going to use these on the top of this. But now you could handwrite it, or you could stamp some letters on it, naming what your plant is, or you could just paint a simple drawing of it, but I'm just doing mine with the stamps just because I have them, just to kind of give you an idea. But because these rocks are not going to be perfectly flat, not even close, I'm not going to be able to use these wooden stamps and stamp directly on them. So I'm just stamping onto that one layer of a napkin, and then I'll tear that out and decoupage that on. And then I'm going to go back in and add a little bit of color, and I think I did that just using some watercolor pencils, and then I will go back over them with the clear coat. And the watercolor obviously wouldn't stay on, but if I just kind of spray lightly the first coat of the clear coat, then I'll be able to seal them easily without that smearing at all. But obviously, after I get this decoupaged on, I have to wait on it to dry well before I can use those watercolor pencils. And I don't necessarily want much color here, I just want some. And this one actually says strawberries, but the ones that doesn't say the name of it, that just has the picture, I'll just go back with some of my letter stamps and stamp the name of the plant on those. Now the next little pot marker that I'm going to be doing is going to be out of little 8-inch wood shims. And I get mine at Lowe's, and these will make a good little pot marker. Now they're not going to last very long. 1 year is all you'll get out of these, but you don't have hardly any money in them, and they're so quick and easy because they're flat. So I'm just going to ask $1 for these, and it's going to be well worth it to me because I'm just going to put a little thin coat of paint on them. I'm not worrying about doing it all the way to the bottom because I'm just going to kind of let that fade into the wood. But I want to cover the tops of them, and I'll be sealing these and antiquing around the edges of these, just personal preference. But these will make good little markers, and you'll be able to decoupage on these. Again, you could put the names on these. Again, I'm just gonna decoupage because I just want them as cute little pot markers. So once I get all of them painted and let them dry well, then I'll just start decoupaging on these. Now these will be a lot easier to decoupage on, and because of that I'll be able to use tissue paper, and you could even use scrapbook paper on this as long as you seal them well. Now I've been working on my hang tag wall, and I decided to do something different with it. Instead of just painting the wall, I decided, because I was going to have to put corkboard or something on it and cover that up. So what I did was I just covered it up with lace. And so my sister and I just started taking pieces of lace and stapling them on, and we just kind of pieced it almost like a quilt, but large sections. And then where they met together, we trimmed it out with some lace or doilies and just different things like that. And I'm not at the shop doing my voiceovers, so I'm not going to be able to show that in this video, but I do want to show it in the next. We just kind of made it a neat little shabby chic wall, and then that will be where I put all the hang tags. So if you haven't done yours and you want to send it, I'm going to put my address in the description so that you can mail me a hang tag, and then I'll mention your name on the channel. And if you want your full name mentioned, write your full name on the back. If you don't, then just write your first name on the back. But the reason I'm doing that is because I know that YouTube doesn't give me give you guys an opportunity to show your work. You can't show your pictures in the comments like you can on Facebook, and I don't have time to do Facebook. So I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to show some of your talent. So I just thought with the hang tags, you can do so many different things with them. So if there's something in particular that you specialize in, you could kind of add that touch to your hang tag. I had one lady who is a quilter, and she made quilting or quilters trading cards, and I thought those were just really, really sweet. Now here I've already decoupaged several of these, and so I'm just taking some sandpaper and going around the edges and even on the front side just to kind of smooth it out and give it more of a distressed look. And then I'll take my ink pad and my ink blending tool and kind of go around the edges and corners, and it just gives it a lot better look. And then obviously I will clear coat these with a couple of coats of a good outdoor sealer. There's any number of things that you can use for plant markers. I know that you can use forks, and there's just so many things. So I may be doing some more of them. I'm just really taking a lot of time and making more outdoorsy things for the spring. This is a really good time of year to sell these, and these I think would be really sweet if you made maybe 5 or 6 of them that kind of coordinate, and you could put them in a cellophane bag and wrap them up nicely and give them as a gift, and you wouldn't have hardly anything in it, and I think it would be really pretty displayed together. And I guess you could do the same thing with the forks or the wooden spoons, maybe the wooden spoons in a set of 3. But I think most of us are always looking for small gift ideas, because I know a lot of you have booths and you sell your items, or you have a store, or you sell on Etsy or some other platform. But I think that for the most part we craft because we like to craft, and sometimes you have a hard time deciding what to do with your crafts. And so when you can make items like this, anybody would love to get a little gift like this. And on that note, I have a really good friend who watches, and she's always crafted, but she doesn't sell her items, so she's always having a hard time coming up with ways to use them. And we talked about the hang tags, and she loves making them but doesn't really know what to do with them, so she decided to make a little gift bag set. And I thought that was a great idea. So I'm going to show that at the end, what she did with them and how cute those little bags looked. And it's always a help to have some gift bags put back for different occasions. And you could make them for all different occasions and just kind of have them on hand when you need to do a little gift. So our hang tags can be gift tags, and I think they're perfect for gift tags. Even if you don't make a bag to go with them, I think they're perfect for little gift tags. But I just thought her idea of a gift bag and tag set was such a good idea. I think that spring and summer are my favorite time of the year to do crafts because I just love doing garden related crafts, and having my sister Tammy in the store with me now, it has been such a blessing because her passion is gardening, so she can also help me come up with more ideas for that. And I got another couple of hang tags that I'll be showing at the end of the video as well. I'm really looking forward to getting more of those and getting my wall full because I just really love seeing your all's ideas. I've learned so much from you. I feel like you guys have taught me more than I've taught you because I just keep getting all these really good tips, and seeing some of your ideas are just really inspirational to me. So next, I'm going to show the gift bag sets that my friend Jennifer made. And again, I think they were absolutely adorable and such a great idea. So if you're looking for something to do with your hang tags, you might want to try these. I think that they just turned out so sweet. And it's much more personable than just a store-bought gift bag. Another idea is a bookmark. If you don't want to use them as hang tags, use them as bookmarks. A sweet viewer, Myra, sent me this one. And Myra also sent me these hang tags. And I think this one is just gorgeous and so my style. But I love the organic look of it, and I love all the vintage looking things. And that one is from Myra. But this next one is extra special because she bought some old letters at an auction, and so she put those on here. And then she added an antique wedding picture and the stamp from the envelope that the card was in. And I think this one is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the little love song on the back of it. And she mentioned that this would make a really pretty hang tag for a wedding gift. And I completely agree. Myra's always giving me some great ideas. I think she may need a YouTube channel herself. I had another awesome week. I got a visit from one of my viewers, Judy, and a couple ladies with her. And she came by on her way to see her sister. So I was just so grateful that she came by. I enjoyed her company so much. I always enjoy meeting you guys, and I deeply appreciate you taking time out of your vacation to come by. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless you and your family.